At one point, we figured it would probably be a while till we got the hint towards our first mutant in the MCU. We figured it would probably be in Deadpool 3 or something. Little did we expect, by way of technicality and trying to keep Spider-Man in the MCU, our first mutant was actually brought into the MCU thanks to Venom Let There Be Carnage.
What a bizarre world we live in.
Yeah, I agree, Symbiote Armin. That's true. So in Venom Let There Be Carnage, there is the character of Shriek. Now, Shriek, in the comics, as most of you know, is a mutant. She is born with her powers and they manifest, much like every other mutant. Now, in Venom Let There Be Carnage, there is a serious lack of plot in regards to how she gets her powers, but she is in Ravencroft, and we are told to believe that this is where they lock up the metahumans in the Venomverse / whatever they're doing there, and everybody in there seems to be some sort of gifted individual. Now, of course, how exactly Sony went about getting this character, I have no idea. Did they always own her? Was there something weird that happened here? Is there some sort of logistics with her first appearance? Because her first appearance was in Spider-Man Unlimited in the early 90s. But again, she is a mutant. That's the thing here. And she does obviously have connections to Spider-Man characters like Cletus Cassidy, like Demi-Goblin, I believe as well, if I'm remembering that correctly. Could be some others in there. But again, it's very interesting to see how her powers and everything related to them are very much not explained in the film, along with tons of other things that aren't explained and things that don't make sense. But what we're led to believe by the little we have is that she is somehow just born with these powers and has them. Therefore, she's a mutant. Now, of course, at the end of the film, Venom is zapped on over into the MCU through the multiverse, and we understand that maybe everything from his universe came over, which seems to be, in a weird way, what Sony may be teasing, but they're not really committed to it. They don't want to talk about it yet, so I guess we just gotta wait and see. Meaning that, by all accounts, it's true. Our first mutant in the MCU multiverse is Shriek from Venom Let There Be Carnage. Now, of course, if they're ever going to explain this, if she's going to be in the MCU proper with Venom 3 or whatever happens next with Venom in the MCU, how they handle it, what happens with her powers, is this going to be addressed in some sort of multiverse mashup? What happens with everything else? Does Marvel introduce their own version of Shriek through what they own as part of the character, where it could be one of those slippery slope scenarios where it's like the Quicksilver scenario that Fox had? Again, we just have no idea because of the logistics, but one would have to assume that when they agreed upon working together, the Sony was probably like, hey, we're going to use Shriek, and if Marvel Studios had any say, they'd be like, that's going to kind of ruin some plans, so, you know, who knows the logistics here? I'm assuming at some point they'll explain them, maybe, but for right now, by all technicality, Shriek is the MCU's first mutant.
We don't like that.